Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with our money mindset coach, Coach
Ooh.
Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
She is in the house. So, you know what? I always recommend that you get your pencil and paper ready and take some notes because Coach Caren has a well of wisdom to draw from. She's been in all kinds of industries. She's been in the clothing industry. She's been in the janitorial industry. She's been in the food industry, child care, the education industry. She has covered a number of fields, and so she brings to us a true gift of wisdom. And so we want to celebrate that and respect it by making sure that we're prepared to benefit from all that she has to share with us. How are you doing today, Coach Caren?
I am good. I am good. I am good. The bangs is getting way too long. Probably need a little trim.
No, no, no. But before you do that, I want to give a shout out to my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory,
Hi,
real estate
friend.
entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Tara Lena from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So we want to welcome everybody to the show. We hope you'll relax, sit back, ask your questions. To those of you watching on the replay, we want to say hey. And
Hey,
to all
hey.
of you watching live, we thank you for your time. So with that, we're going to get the party started, Coach. What's up this week?
Last quarter, guys. Last quarter. And we are talking about planning for 2023. You guys know every year I come in with the planning stuff. We got to talk about it because when we don't plan it, we don't do it. We got to plan it. We need to sit down and plan it, tell your story, get it out on paper, get it on the calendar, then take action on the calendar, then have yourself a reward calendar, if you will, or some place
Mm.
where you go to see that you got it done. Excuse me. I think
Oh.
one of the biggest things with, at least that's how I want to run my school. One of the biggest disadvantage online that I think that's why a lot of people don't get enough out of their programs is the reward of having somebody overlook it to see and direct them that they're going in the right path. Because lots of times, if it's something new, you're not sure. It's like you're working out, but you're not sure if you have the right posture, or you cooking, making a cake, and if you've never baked before, you're not sure, even though the recipe says it, what's going to happen. Like, these steps are so crucial. Let me tell you, online is fantastic. I love it. But in person, you get to do these things. And so we have to figure out how we do them online and make sense. So for my school, the touch is you take a program with me and you get a resource to reach out to me so that I can see if you need the help. I think that's such a missing link right now. And so this is why I say, when you set up your planning, I really want you to have a place where you reward yourself so you can see this is happening. We're going to talk about what you have accomplished this year so far, because you want to acknowledge what you have accomplished so far. I don't want you to dismiss it, okay? And I'll tell you in a bit why and how it makes you feel and what happens, right? And what I didn't accomplish so far. And if you feel like for the next 3 months you can't get there, don't try to cram it in, because the cramming it in makes you feel overwhelmed. It makes you feel it's daunting. It can be done. And if you're trying to cram things in, you're gonna get yourself tired out, and you're not gonna be able to do it. Let me just tell you, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. And then you really want to ask yourself, why didn't I accomplish it? And just be honest with you why you didn't accomplish it. It didn't matter if it's because I lie down too much, I watch too much TV, too much Netflix, um, I wanted to take this time out. Honestly, I just wanted to rest for the last 3 months, so I didn't do anything. Like, be honest with you so that you can pick up and actually do. If you're not honest with you, it's kind of really hard
Mhm.
to accomplish. It's a hard to move forward, because its burden is on your shoulders and on your back, and you can't move forward because you're beating you up. We get in the ring and we've got black eyes, bump on our heads, cuff in our back, we stab ourselves under the rib, we do all sorts of things to us, and we would not admit it. We're like, no, I'm good. No, you've been doing it. Stop beating yourself up. It's done. You can't go backwards. Just remember this. Whatever's happening right now, you can only do with what you have right now. Your job is to learn so that when you move forward, you've got this equipment to go with. You know what to do. You know how to do it. You got to learn. You know, in my country, in Guyana, we had kerosene oil stove. We had gas stove. And we had coal pots. And we had where you can cook on wood. And a lot of people went through all the stages of cooking at some point in their lives if they were in that time. There's parts we didn't like, but there's parts we loved. And we wanted the easy part. That's the truth of the matter. You know, you turn on the gas stove and you cook. You light a match, and boom, you're done. Everything else, and the kerosene wasn't bad, the same. But if it's coals, you get dirty and you smoky. If it's wood burning, the same thing. You still got to get the wood chopped, and you still got to use the wood. You still got to learn. So I just want you to understand, going backwards don't help you. Say it to yourself. Going backward will not help me.
Will not help me.
And the brain will pull you back. Now, if you're going back for clarification, you're going back to investigate the situation, great, do it. But if you're just going back to punch you, beat you, stab you, and kick you up, do not revisit. Stay away from those thoughts. So we're going to talk about what have you accomplished this year. So if you wanted was to work out 3 days a week and you're doing 2, you've accomplished more than 50% of what you decided to do. If you wanted to eat right and you're doing it 3 days a week and not 5, you've accomplished a percentage of that. That's honestly what you've accomplished. If you wanted to write a book and you started, but you're not finished, or you haven't even started, outlined it, admit it to yourself, I've accomplished the outline, or I have accomplished the thought process towards writing a book. I've researched, I've investigated. That's what you've accomplished. If you'd said, I wanted my business to make at least $5,000 a month, you know, and you have accomplished 2,500, I 50% accomplished what I set out to do. Do not dismiss it. And that's why we have to keep tally to know what we've accomplished. You need to write it down. So I had my system, it still sits in front of me. What happens when I come in on the daily, what I've accomplished, why I didn't accomplish it, and I stick it there. Sometimes it becomes a whole project on its own to get that thing finished, or sometimes it becomes the thing that I don't want to do anymore, and I let it go. Decide, let it go. Don't have it hanging around, because it sits on your shoulders, and it reminds you every now and then, especially when you start feeling happy.
Yes, it will.
It shows up.
It starts nagging us, for sure.
It shows up. It shows up, you know, and you're beating yourself up. I want to stop it. So what didn't you accomplish this year? Write it down. Also, what didn't you accomplish that you wanted to accomplish? What didn't you accomplish? So I didn't get to work out 5 days a week. And reason why, do not lie. I felt lazy. Write it down. I didn't want to do it. Or I pushed through it, but only to 50%. Like, write it down. I ate well, and then I fall off the wagon. That's me. I'm going to raise my hand. I started off great. I fell off the wagon. I fell off the wagon. This is my 3rd week back into working out. I took a good 2 months break, admitting it, getting it out there. You can't hold me hostage anymore because I am saying it. There's no hostage there. Here's the number I wanted to make. I didn't quite meet my quota. And here's the reasons I didn't do it. I fall off again. I get distracted with family stuff. I wanted to reshape some things. I wanted to clarify in my head my idea, the picture that God gave me that doesn't match with what people are doing. And I was arguing the point of what I needed to do. And so I keep putting things off, until I come to terms, well, this is how he wants me to do it. I don't understand why I'm arguing with myself, because God has never led me astray before. Every endeavor that he has says, Caren, you can do it. Here's what we're going to do. I've gotten it done. A friend and I opened that daycare, you had known, and it was a 2-year program. daycare management program that I went into while opening the daycare. I finished that program in a year and 3 months because I was in what I needed to do. God is saying, you want this base knowledge? Okay, you I could open the daycare. I didn't need it to pay for that program, but I felt it was going to teach me things that I didn't know in the core. And so I took the program, and my friend keeps saying to me, I can't believe you're actually doing this, going through this study. She was a psychologist major at the time. She didn't finish her psychology degree either yet. She had a couple of months, and she was saying, I don't know if I need it anymore. But after seeing me push through and get my studies done, she's like, Caren, I can't tell you what, but I went back. I got in contact with my
inspired.
inspired. So you never know why God is pushing you to help somebody else get inspired. And she said, for the longest while, the degree was hanging over her head. Why don't you get it finished up? But she's got kids. How am I going to do this? What's going to happen? But she says, just seeing me get in there and studying my hour lunch, I will eat my lunch. I will do what I got to do, but I'll sit in that hour and I would just get into my text and read and do what I needed to do so that I could study for my exams. And I knew it wasn't a long time, but half an hour each day, morning, Carlos, half an hour each day, adds up a lot by the end of the week. And then I got a full weekend to study and prep for exam and that sort of thing. So I was making sure I go through it to get through it. And I wanted to accomplish it in a year and 6 months. I even surprised myself by finishing early. I even surprised myself by finishing early. So I say all this as to say is when you got something to do and God put it in your heart, get it done. Sit down and plan it with yourself. The reason I talk about planning stories, if I didn't say before, I like planning stories. So I like to tell a story to myself when I'm planning. When I sit down, I really talk about all that I want to accomplish for the year. And I look at every aspect, emotional, physical, spiritual, and I definitely look at finances. And I have the column set up there. So once I write the story, now I can start looking at, emotional, like how am I feeling? How do I truly feel when I have a lot of things to do? I need to take a lot of breaks and relax because I come real heavy on myself. So I, over time, realized that I need to be in prayer about the things I've written down, and do I truly want to do them, or am I overcrowding myself? Would I have enough time for my devotion and spending time with God, and that sort of thing was important to me. So do I pencil in too much so that I'm neglecting that? Because I tend to do that. When I was first reading my Bible and I wasn't sure how to, the knowledge, when I read the Bible, I wasn't having this clear understanding. So I would just breeze through it so I can get through it. And I wanted to stop that. And to be able to stop that, I had to devote enough time to read, sit with the word, and allow it to sink in me to go back if I need to, and that sort of thing. I needed that. And that was going to take a good portion of my morning. So how am I going to fit in my work for the day? So I had to figure that out. And so that's part of my storytelling and my planning, what I need to feed me, to nourish me. Work out, walking or running helps me mentally. I need it in my life. When it's not there, there's a problem. When I don't eat right, there's a problem. I get sluggish. I want to sleep a lot. I'm not moving around. That's in my story. I am talking to me about the truths about me because it is what it is. And it's my eyes that is seeing it. And if I don't own up to it and I lie to myself, I'm not able to be as great as I want to be. I can't serve the people. God will take clients away from me. I've witnessed it. He'd leave me scraping by because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing to get me to the next
Yes, because He'll only give us what we can manage.
Right. And I would be carrying on or writing and thinking, but I'm not moving because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I could tell you my day. I could sit with my day once I get it planned out, and I could be going over things, and I can get 2 to 3 clients in any department of my businesses by just getting myself on track on what I'm supposed to do. Why? Because I made the clearance for the clients to come to me. When the clients are not coming, it's because I've crowded up with all kind of crap and not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm getting the warning signs. You're not doing it, Caren. You say you're going to do this, but you're lying. People lie all the time, and they're like, I don't lie. I lie. You lie to yourself. Never mind anybody else. You lie to yourself. If you can only cover 2 to 3 things a day and you got a full-time job, cover only 2 to 3. Do not put 6 things there. You're not going to get to it. What are we in here? You're gonna beat you up about it.
Well, the thing is, Coach, even if you only get one or two things done, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah, just that. That's it.
you got something done.
Yes,
Can you celebrate that? Can we
you
I don't
got.
think we celebrate enough. And I like the fact that you said you had a celebration calendar.
Yeah, I had to. I mean, I made it up myself on the wall. I had to.
Morning.
Good morning. I had to. I had to because I couldn't see the things that I was accomplishing. I was a new coach when I started. And I was coaching a friend of mine, a very good friend. She used to be actually a client of mine. She started off as a daycare client. She had two boys. And then she ended up being a client of mine for coaching because she wanted to help her husband in business, but she was just having the hardest time. And I got off the call with her. It was a Tuesday call. I felt so empty in terms of all I did was coach this morning. This is what I keep saying in my head. The
Mhm.
truth of the matter is, when I check back, Terry, I had coached the woman. I had written processes. I have started the book, the coaching book, so that she can have eventually.
Mhm.
I had hired two people for cleaning. I had two others came in to do the practical part of the cleaning training and watch videos. I had got up early and made myself a pajamas.
I think when you rise early, or if you go to bed late, you get a lot of things done depending on when your body clock is at its
Yes,
peak.
yes, yes, yes.
And we don't count those things because they're part of our routine.
Yeah.
We don't acknowledge them.
No, and I look around and say, wait, hold on. I mean, I just
You just
sat
had to
there.
get clarity with yourself.
Yes, I just cleared everything away, and I and a project board and a reward calendar
Hmm.
immediately. Things that didn't get accomplished going to go on a project board, so we turn it into projects, so we know it take days, and instead of finishing it right away, because some things really take a long time, but I want it to be accomplished in 24 hours. So instead of doing that and it's not getting done, that's the project that goes on the project board. And then at the bottom there's my celebration, what I did for the end of the week, how did it turn out, how did I feel, did I want to dance, party, sing, or did I want to go curl up in bed and whine? Like,
Mm.
really.
Is that an option?
But it's an option that I go to in my head, right?
Oh.
I go to in my head. If I'm really needing a break, though, I just want people to be clear about this. If I'm really needing a break, I take it off. I take half days. Sometimes I take a full day off, and I say, okay, I'm going to take the day off. Maybe it's a reading day for me, or going for a walk, going to the mall. I love the fabric store, guys. I know it might not be big for anybody else, but
I love the fabric store. Oh my
I go to
God.
the fabric store
And
and
just
I
hang
walk around.
out. Oh my gosh, it is so nice. I mean, just anyway.
And yeah, I see my friends. I call them my friends by now because the cutting ladies know me. They're like, Karen, when you get it today? Or you wearing a piece of your own work.
Mhm. I mean, it is just so beautiful, and
Yes, so
the
I'm
place
in
I go
there.
to just has thousands of bolts of fabric. It's just gorgeous
Girl,
in there.
girl, I go to my I like to go to the craft store also because it just helps my creativity. I'm in Item Michael. Sometimes I do go to the dollar store in their section too and try to
Hmm.
come up with ideas because it really get my juices flowing. And when I come back, I feel happy and nice. And you know, I'm taking the time off to just maybe I make myself a nice dinner or just
Hmm.
something wonderful that I would like, or choose a movie and just enjoy myself. I like Christmas movie any time of the year, guys. Let me just confess right
Oh
now.
my
So
gosh. Well, they've got plenty of Christmas movies over there on the Hallmark Channel. I want you to
yeah,
know, guys.
and
The
I get
Hallmark
in
Channel
there
is
with my popcorn
tonight.
and I'm just having a blast. Okay. So get whatever you like.
Mhm. Well, I've got these cough drops because it's that time of year for me. I need to make sure that I don't start coughing in the middle of your presentation. Go ahead.
Yeah, so get whatever you want and get your planning story together, or get your beverages, get the stuff, snacks you like. Make this into something wonderful that you enjoy and not feeling punished for. Okay.
Mm.
You are planning to have a beautiful new year, not, at the end of the year, just before the year end, making a new resolution, and no, just set it up, write the story, take it apart, set it up. You're gonna feel good if you can get this done by the end of November, early December. You
Mhm.
can finish off the year. You know, um, Making sure that you're moving in smoothly. You're not trying to rush into anything. The other thing that I like about the planning, for the end of the year, is if you had any courses that you took but you didn't really get to doing them,
Mm.
put it in there. Put it in the
Mm.
story. Maybe a course you can do just 1 hour a day, and that's all you can devote to that course. Put the timer on and set it up and do that course. When I was studying for my bookkeeping exams, that's what I do. I set my timer early in the morning. I used to do my studies from 7 to 9 in the morning, and I would
Mhm.
just sit there and I would just study. And I would just sit there and study and write my exam. I remember my last exam was so difficult. I'm gonna lie. My last exam was so difficult, let me tell you. And I had to get extension on my exam. My timeline, right? And
Mhm.
Terry, I got it. I even talked to a friend, she's a bookkeeper herself, and I say to her, listen, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I can end with a C for all I care. Okay. I just want to get this done. So I finally told my professor, I said to him, I said, listen, mark me however it is. Don't bother. My mark, I was on an A all the time. And he's like, Caren, I will not do that. Here's what my decision is. I want you to go back and spend some time, because you can do this. You can do this, right? And
Mhm.
so I went back in, and I was having such a difficult time in a specific area of it. And I realized what it was. It's because I was trying to just rush through and get it done. I
Mm.
sat myself down and I went through section by section by section, because that's how I'm going to be doing people books, section by section by section. And although I didn't end up with an A on the exam, I got a B. I was so proud of myself because I
Mhm.
actually got it done. B is not a bad mark. I just like
No,
A.
it's not.
Confess.
Oh my goodness. Especially when you're struggling with something. That's
Right?
that's an A.
And he was such a good guy, good judge. When he says, Karen, you still end the program with an A.
Okay,
And you
see?
were doing great through the whole program. That's why I didn't want you to just give up at the end, because this is the part where we pull everything together. And these are the things, and you even send a nice little note saying, if I need a recommendation, I can use him. Here's his number, and all that
Nice.
works. So I guess I was a good student, and I did like him as my professor. He's really good at what he does. And
Mhm.
that's the thing, guys. If you're good at what you're doing, stop doubting yourself. Okay? You're good at what you're doing. You're really good at what you're doing. And everything is not lining up how you'd like it, sure, but you're good at what you're doing.
Mm.
If you're a hairstylist, you're good at it. If you're a dressmaker, you're good at it. You don't have to do anything else. And if you get really, really good and you want to teach it to somebody else, then you just teach them what you know. Don't worry about anybody else. Just yours, just stay in your lane. I always
Mm.
thank my grandmother for that. She's given me this gift that I didn't know was a gift at the time. But I remember I was whining about school, right? I had burned myself all the way on my left, my leg, well, by my hip, all the way down to my foot. And my whole leg was swollen. I was fully burned. And I was complaining about the burning. Now I was cooking, I caused the burn. The oil spill and burned me really well. I get 3rd-degree burn or whatever, but it was really deep, so it was being swollen. And I was whining that I can't get to school or what have you. And she says, Karen, the time will pass, the burn will heal, and you'll get back to school. What is really the problem? And the real problem was, when the burn healed, how my skin is going to look. What my
Mm.
classmates will say, how will they react to the burn on me? And the embarrassment, there's a whole bunch of stuff was happening, but I didn't realize in my head. She says,
Mhm.
you really have to look at you for you. You can't look at anybody else for what they think about you, what they're going to say to you. You just can't. This is all about you. I know you don't like certain things I tell you, because she's a really hard woman in terms of brutally honest.
Oh.
Don't ask her if you don't want to know. Tell you as it is, and what you could do about it. And she says, you're gonna get back there and your leg is gonna look terrible initially. And you're gonna have dark and light skin. It's gonna look bad. But you
Mhm.
can stay here and cry about it and not finish this class to get to the other class, or you can, once you heal enough to attend school, you can get to school. And I'm going to go to the school and let them know that you're burned. And when you come, if you can, because we sit two students together at a desk, and she said, I'm going to ask them to have you sit by yourself so that nobody's jamming your leg or anything like that. And
Mm.
she went ahead and set it up. So when I went back to school, the swelling has gone down, but it was tender and terrible. So I was able to sit by myself and do
Mm.
my work. You know what that did for me? It allowed me to, did way better. And I was doing good already. Way better in focus because I'm not yapping because I'm always a talker. So I would talk to my friends because it's just me alone at the desk.
Okay.
My foot get healed, and I really came into myself a lot with thinking, kids tease you. Kids are kids. They tease me about the foot and whatever. But I was able to keep thinking in my head, my granddad's right. If I don't come, and unlike what we have these days, if you fail a class, you fail. Nobody puts you over to the other class. You literally have to pass the class to get to the other class. Guyana and them in my time never played. I don't know, but now. So if you fail a class, you fail a class. And teachers really were proud of themselves. So if you were failing, they don't wait to the end. They'll say, talk to your parents and say, hey, let me give your kid classes in the morning because he or she's falling behind.
Mm.
Would you mind if
Mhm.
I spend an extra half an hour with them and they skip lunch so that we can get them up to par? Because teachers prided themselves on their class. Every single one of us passing to the next class. So
Mm.
they took on the burden as if you didn't pass, they didn't do something right. So very heavy on that.
You do feel like that. You really feel responsible. It's like, could I have found another resource? Could I have um, collaborated with someone to find out more about what this particular child needs? And
Mhm.
that's how educators are.
Yes. I always say it's from the head because we had this fantastic principal. She was stern. A lot of people, teachers and kids, did not like her for the longest while. But when I tell you she was the best thing that ever happened to that school that I went to, that teachers grew to love her. Like they got a problem, they could go talk to her. A kid was difficult, they talked to her. In
Mm.
those days, they had the wild cane, meaning the whip to beat you. And she came to our school and she took it out. She says, you don't need whipping to be disciplined. Everybody in here can talk. And she changed things at our school like nobody's business. She didn't care who didn't like it. She took it out because teachers were accustomed to whipping, especially the guys to get them in gear. She took all of that away from them. And she was like, this is not how we're going to run this school. Everybody's going to do well just by speech. And if I have a difficult child, the child is going to come to me. And we're going to fix this, both teacher and I.
Mm.
So I got off a little bit, but it's just part of when you're thinking about things, guys, I always want you to
Mhm.
think about it as a whole, not only this little tiny narrow tunnel that you're in. When you're planning, you think about yourself in the wide. This is not time to niche down and narrow down. So think about your whole self, who you are, what you want to accomplish, who you want to help, where you want to see yourself. How's this going to move you forward in your God given gifts? How are you going to look to you and not the other dressmaker, the other coach, the other, whomever, the other shop owner, even
Mhm.
if it's something similar you want to create? Like, how are you going to demonstrate it so that the people who you need to serve, you get to serve? Those are your people. Those are the people you need to serve. You don't need to worry about the other people. You really have to look deep and narrow to grow your business, to become the best version of you. My family will tell you how they crack up at me because I've been this way for so long that I don't really look at people. I
Mm.
do not worry about what you think about me. That is your business. It has nothing to do with me. Now, if you tell me something, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't feel bad about it. But I honestly don't pay attention to that. And I was in a grocery store once, Terry, but this one was bad and embarrassing. My husband picked me up, dropped me to the grocery store. I'm like, just take me to the grocery store. And I was in the midst of cleaning the house and had something in the oven. And I just needed, if I sent him, he wasn't going to bring what I want. So I jump in the car with the pretty, I call it pretty dress. a lot of prints on it. It was a strap dress in the summer, and because the dress was a little thin, I had on a pants under the dress. I dragged I don't know what over me because the grocery store always cool, and I look crazy. I'm not gonna lie because I look crazy. And my husband keeps staring at me, but he didn't say anything. So I got into the store, picking up what I want quickly, and and a guy said to me, "You were the bravest person I've ever met." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Your combination." I looked down. I saw. Oh my gosh! I tell you, in the section where it's like vegetables and fruit, quite a few people were there. Everybody was just cracking up. We had a good laugh together, and I said, I did look in the mirror. Everybody's like, "We can get a lot of this."
Oh my goodness.
Don't recommend it, but
That she just beats up on me, or am I frozen?
I didn't die. I was still around.
Wow. Well,
Don't
Coach, we are
put
at
yourself out there.
yes, we are at the top of the hour. Do you have any programs coming up for this coming quarter?
I definitely have stuff coming up, but I want to present it well, so that's why I didn't bring anything
So
today.
we're going to be talking about it in January.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll be moving all the stuff down. But I did put my Calendly 30 minutes free session, so anybody can definitely book and we can talk about coaching and anything that you need. But Pacific program, and I bring it to the table. You guys gonna get a hold of it. Today we covered what you have accomplished this year in terms of planning, in terms of your business, your life, and all that wonderful stuff, and what you didn't accomplish, and then why you didn't do it. Sit with it, get through it, because next week we're gonna, start talking about how to get it done and all the
Okay.
um, visual to share, so that might be
Oh
able to help
wow.
you along the way if you're a visual person and need to see how to get it.
Mm. Okay. Well, great. We're going to be screen sharing next week.
Yes.
Okay, guys. We just want you to know that if you're interested in finding Coach Caren, you can book an appointment. We have put up her link for her Calendly, and we'll also put that in the chat. You can book a free 30-minute consultation.
Mhm.
We highly recommend that you take advantage of that because you need to plan before the year gets here. So we remind you that it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Now, I've got two shameless plugs that I want to put up here in addition to that, Coach Caren. So I'm going to put these up real quick. One is that we had Lakeisha on the other day, and let me move your brand because I don't want your
Yeah.
brand scrolled under Lakeisha to be like that. Which one is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Lakeisha was on Monday, and she
Okay.
was talking about the fact that, she's a Mary Kay consultant,
Yes.
and they are running their campaign to prevent cancer this month.
Oh, okay.
So she asked that if people wanted to sponsor a cancer kit for someone, they could do so by contacting her. And the kits are $30 each. So I'm going to put that. I made a slide because at the
Yeah.
time I
Yeah.
didn't have one yesterday. So I went in, she sent me her poster, and this is it. So
Okay.
guys, you can contact her at www.lakeishaAppleton.com, and her phone number is 916-803-7393, and support this campaign against cancer by becoming a sponsor for a local patient who may need a chemo care package, which
Nice.
runs $30 each. So I wanted you to know about that.
Bless you.
Excuse me. I know y'all can hear me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're sneezing. Part of life.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and also I want you to know that Calvary Christian Center is sponsoring Virtue from Above, which is a fabulous women's conference sponsored by Dr. Brenda K. Godot. And you can do that by going to calvarychristian.com, or you can find it over on Brushfire. And if you want more information and you can't find it, you can direct message us. But you can see the website there on the bottom in blue for calvarychristian.com. And under events, you will find this event. So those are the two shameless plugs I wanted to get in. And in addition to that, I want to make sure that everybody has Coach Caren's contact information. And we're going to, let's see, I'm going to make sure, Coach, first of all, they can find you at Profits in Daily, anywhere on the web and on your Instagram. And then also, you gave me your Calendly, and I wanted to put that over in the chat so that people can find it. So I'm scrolling down here again to find it, and here it is. And I will also copy that and put it in the chat over here. Okay. Ooh, well, that wasn't good. Let me see if
Not to worry.
I don't know what I did, but I did something I had no business. I copied something different. Okay, let's see. I will make sure that Calendly gets in there. You're gonna have to send it to me again because I don't know what I did, but I did not do well. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. See? And let's put it over here in the comments
Mhm.
as well as on the screen. There we go. Calendly.com, Caren Fern. There it is. So now you got no excuse. You need to contact Coach
Mhm.
and get your free 30-minute consultation. With that, I want to thank you, Coach, again
Oh,
for
you're welcome.
taking time out of your busy day to spend time with us and to share your expertise with the world. What a wonderful gift, and we thank you for being so generous.
You're
With that, we
welcome.
want to remind everybody it's okay to make money in your business. So
Yes.
go to the front of
Of
the
your own line. Yes.
Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.